Good evening, and we're live.
Good evening. You all right?
Yeah, I'm really good. Yourself?
Yeah, really good. Thank you. Really good.
Good evening, and we're live. Oh,
good evening.
Is that your echo?
I think I've got a bit of feedback at my end this time. I was just setting up for the comments on my side so I could see all the comments coming through, and I didn't turn the volume down.
So, wait a minute. Steve says he hasn't got the email link.
Oh my goodness.
I say he has. I'll just resend it to him.
I'm going to say, we're thin on the ground tonight, Paul. We're just me and you.
We are just me and you holding the fort. So Ross sends his apologies. He can't make it this evening, but hopefully he'll be back with us next week. Hopefully, Steve. I'm just going to message Steve to say I've resent it. Great start as always.
Evening, everybody. I'll just go through the welcomes if you want.
Yeah.
So evening to AB Reef. Adam's always in, isn't he? He never misses one. Good evening, Adam. Evening, Julie. Julie's back. Yes, our resident landlady, who always rings the final bell at the end of the evening. Hope you're feeling better, Julie. I know she had COVID. Is it COVID she had?
I think so.
I think she had COVID. Good evening to Jackie as well. Lovely to see you, Jackie, again on the stream. Join us on this Friday. In fact, it's quite nice outside now. This lovely Friday evening. UKM 120. Good to see you, mate, as always. John's in the chat as well. John Wright. Lovely to see you, John. And no doubt he's got a few questions for us today, especially about your yellow tang.
It's still there.
No doubt that's going to come to surface. Aquarian's in. Aquarian. Hey. There we go. Dedication. The mug. Have you not got any tea in yours yet? No.
I don't drink tea.
Oh, coffee. No. Evening, Aquarian. Who else we got in the chat today? Cheap reefer. If you've got any tips of how to run a cheap reef, I'd love to know. Because I'm not managing it very well at the moment.
Yeah, don't get one.
NG Reefer. I think you've just liked a few of my posts on Instagram. So if it is you, thank you so much for the support there. JC's Reef is here with us. Good evening to you, Howard. I do love Howard's little picture there. Do love that. Evening, Howard. Hope you're all well. Tekker's Reef. Oh, good to see you, mate, in the chat. Stuart's in there as well. Push button reef. What is that? A boxfish? I think that's a boxfish there, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it. It's a lovely picture.
It's wonderful. I'd love a boxfish, but I've heard there's a lot of problems with it. Reef King, I am mate. Hope all is well. Hope you've pulled over in a lay-by to watch it this time rather than just driving around London. It's good to see him. Hope the shallow reef's going well. Cottage Reef. Nice to see you, mate. He's always following. Andy's Reef, nice one. I think I've had a message from Andy's Reef actually, quite recently. So, good to see you, mate. Kim, hi, Kim. Kim's retracted a message. It must have been hello or something. I can't remember. But yeah, evening, Kim. Hope you're all good. Backshift Reefer. Didn't he win the competition? He won the.
He won the Radian.
Didn't he win the Radian?
He did.
I get him with the Radian. What do you think of it? It was the XR. He went for the blue, didn't it?
It was XR15, wasn't it?
XR15 blue. You should have waited. The Gen 6 is out now, but it's good. Oh, it's coming out very soon.
It's on pre-order, isn't it?
It's on pre-order, yeah. Haley Barr, good to see you, Haley. I don't know if I've seen Haley before. Is Haley a new one? If you're new, welcome. If you're not, sorry for being rude, but welcome. It's good to see you. Sky Marine, good to see you as well. Love to join us. There's loads of people in here. I can't even get through them all. Rigsy69. I don't know what the 69 is.
I think that's a new one.
Yeah, that's definitely a new one.
Or maybe someone with a different username.
Yeah. Yeah, good to see you. Mini 25 Reef. I reckon that's a 25 gallon. Is that the Peninsula? Is that the water box? Mini 25 Reef. I reckon it might be. Reef King. Oh, he's there again. Poetry Witch. Oh, good to see you. One of the original followers of my channel as well, actually. So good to see you.
So there's a couple of people. Sorry, just interrupt. There's a couple of people saying, "Where is everyone?" So Ross can't make it tonight, and I'm not too sure where Steve is. So just as we came on, he said he hadn't seen the link. He's now given me a thumbs up, which means he must have the link. But there's no Steve, and he's not waiting, and it's not as if I haven't let him in. So sorry for interrupting there, but it just answers a couple of questions. Go on, you keep going.
I reckon he'll come on and go his favourite line. Can you hear me?
I'd be surprised if he doesn't. And it'll be about his computer and he can't get the emails and he hasn't seen it. And we'll go from there.
Oh, looking like Craig David at the same time. Where did I get up to? But UK Reefer, yes. You've got one of my favourite tanks on Instagram. Absolutely love your tank, mate. Awesome. Julian Stamp, good to see you, Julian. Reefport, Michael Butler, lovely to see you as well. He's always in the chat. Have I got for everybody now? Economical Reef, good evening, good to see you, mate. Anybody do bubble scrubbing?
Yeah, I've seen it. Where is that? There we go.
Yeah, that's our first, I think, proper question. I think.
So I haven't done it before. I haven't. It was popular when Aaron's Aquarium was around. So what's it, 2-3 years ago? Because he was doing it quite often, and then quite a few other people did it. I must admit, I've never done it.
I don't even know what it really is. Is it just a way of oxygenating your tank? Is it or something? I don't know. Buffering pH?
I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
But I don't know too much detail about it. I haven't really seen many videos on it.
There's a lot of love for calc again tonight. I think that's a common theme for the last few live streams. We've had a lot of comments about calcwasser being an answer, as it were, to stabilizing pH. So
yeah.
there's a lot of love for calcwasser. Why is my light so bright?
Turn it down. So yeah, there's a couple of people that have bubble scrub before. I must admit, I haven't seen so many people do it recently. Not in, I suppose maybe people do, but it's not videos about it. So things go in and out of fashion, don't they, a little bit. So economical reefer, do you use bubble scrubbing? I mean, I do when obviously the RO water runs out here, as you've seen before on the live stream, and there's loads of bubbles come out. But I must admit, I don't know a massive amount about, or not enough about it to really say.
I don't. Russell, can you help us out and give us some of your experiences on bubble scrubbing? That'd be most appreciated. Yeah. Is he still driving the bus?
Right, so he hasn't got it, and he's saying I've got the wrong email address. So let me just copy this and send it to him. But
Craig David lookalike at hotmail.com, I think it is. Craig David Reefer or something, I don't know. That might work. Where did we get to? I've just read that Backshift Reefer, he's got his Radian XR15 just on his frag tank underneath in his sump. Wow. A nice piece of kit just for a frag tank underneath in the sump.
Well, if you don't pay for it,
wow,
then why not?
Yeah, true. Very true.
A deserving winner, nevertheless.
Yeah. How's the growth? Are you happy with the growth that you're getting from your Radian? What else we're up to here? Jackie's saying something here. What's this? Have you heard of ZM Systems?
Never heard of it. I think did Julie put a comment in later on? Let me have a quick look.
Copepod chat. This is. I do like Copepods. I seeded my little Pico tank with 2 bags of Copepods.
Yeah.
Only a week ago, and they seem pretty happy as far as Copepods go.
They're just coming in and help clean it up. So there's a couple of comments. So there's one. Bubble scrubbing basically turns your tank into a big skimmer. I've done bubble scrubbing, don't rate, not really any benefit, and it upset a few corals. I suppose that depends really how you're scrubbing and where you're scrubbing it into do. Because if you put it into display, I suppose it could upset the corals. I don't know if there's any benefit to do it into the sump rather than into the display. Don't know if anyone knows that. And there's another one. Aaron used it for exporting detritus from tank. So I suppose the bubbles. I don't know.
Well, it must have been in the main display.
Yeah. I suppose also if you put your wave makers on quite high, that quite often disturbs things. And also another thing that disturbs things, Jay, from last week.
Oh,
Now I've got to say, I got a load of stick on
so
this.
you should.
I got some messages on that. Now, this is the one I use at Christmas, I hasten to add.
Yeah.
Not the one that I haven't got one for the tank. And at the moment, I'm refusing to have FOMO. I haven't got FOMO when it comes to this. So this is for turkeys at Christmas. Is not to be used on my my reef tank. It's obviously a lot smaller than yours, Jay.
Yeah, mine.
Yours was a slightly different version of the truth. But I couldn't believe how many messages I got.
Did you get like death threats and hate mail from? I mean, it is a big piece of
snow. Hassle, yes, I've got to say, and some pointed comments around why I don't scrub. And not scrub. Why I don't use this? I was going to ask Steve, but obviously he hasn't made it yet. So
I mean, I believe. No, go away. Sorry, interrupted. So you're now onto the turkey baster. You're gonna experience it for the first time.
Oh no! I'm not putting that into the tank. That's full of grease. That basted turkey.
Oh, so it's actually a kitchen one.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you turned.
Have I let you down?
Yeah, I thought you turned a corner. I thought you'd bought one.
No, I'm not. No,
you need to. Honestly, you need to get one. It's well, for feeding, for cleaning your rocks, for scrubbing your rocks.
Yeah.
No. Sorry.
You're trying to multitask.
Yeah, I'm just having two conversations. Sorry about that.
That's right.
I don't understand how you've got this far and been, 7 years of reefing without one. Honest to God.
I don't know what to say.
I don't know.
I think I am the only person who, from last week, definitely, who doesn't do that.
You need to get one. Steve's very good with his baster.
Does he use a baster then? Because I don't remember he said he does or not.
I think he does. I thought he was a master with it. Sorry. I thought he could really do, spot feeding very well.
Oh dear. Right, I'm just going to try and send this link to him.
Is he still not there?
He's not here, and he hasn't got the link.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be without mine. Essential piece of kit. Mine's a bit grubby though. I think I need to clean it. But for spot feeding your corals and how do you blast down your rock work? Don't you blast down your rock work every?
No, I don't.
Every 3 or 4 days, no? Give it a little jet down.
No, I don't think I've blasted the rocks at all on the one over there, and that's over 7 years old.
Wow.
I don't know. Have I? I don't think I have. I mean, sometimes I put a power head over it, but not very often. But so maybe it's. I haven't got a problem with. Well, I have got a problem with nitrates and phosphates now, but that's because I've been messing around and emptying it out. But that's a different issue. But before I took any corals out, it was as good as gold. I didn't have any problems with nitrate or phosphate or anything like that. And the rocks didn't look. Well, I don't know if the rocks look grubby or not. For the simple reason it was covered in coral, so you could hardly see any rock.
I don't know, little bits of algae and just sand. What else? Just unpleasant stuff that gathers in some of the areas where there's no flow. So I just blast it off, keep it clean. I like the rocks to look nice and pink, like coralline, white, like white and pink. So I just like to give it a clean down.
No, I get why you do it.
On the sand as well. How do you turn it? You just titivate your sand and blow it over. Just put air through it, and it just turns it over a little bit, so you don't get a massive build-up of. Well,
I think one, I've got loads of corals on the sand.
Yeah.
And secondly, I got quite a few wrasse.
Right.
And wrasse dive bomb into the sand, and you know where the wrasse have been because the sand is usually clean and it's turned over. And also, I have quite a few snails that are in the sand to turn it over. Having said that, I mean, some places I've got hardly any sand, and sometimes it's gone completely bare, and I've got corals that have grown completely over the bottom of the glass, which is a bit of a pain because I can't get it. I've got a chalice that's probably about 6 inches long that's grown onto the glass. I can't get it off. It's now encrusted onto the glass, which is a bit of an own goal. So it looks good until you want to take the coral out, and then you're kind of stuffed.
Yeah. Do you know, Paul? We've got 61 watch. I think we're gone for a record with just me and you.
Wow. The issue is, can we keep him with us waffling on? Because Steve hasn't joined and he's not responding. So I don't know if he's got the with me.
Thanks for watching.
I've sent him the link about 3 times. It's definitely the right email that I've sent it to. I've told him to check his junk, because that's usually where my emails go, to people's junk, understandably. Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see. So maybe they're here because later on, at some point, we're doing a giveaway. If I can get the Wheel of Fortune ready.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that.
So there's a method in the madness. I need to get rid of some chalice. I've got some chalice in the other tank. Yeah. So there'll be 1 piece of avatar, a piece of mummy-eyed. Now, if you're mummy-eyed, loads of different people describe mummy-eyed, and they all seem to be a variety of different colours. So this one is blue with pink eyes. If you look on Instagram, the post I put on Instagram when I put up the banner, there's a second and third picture. That's the pictures of the colony. So you can see what it looks like in its all its glory. The piece we're fitting, it's probably no more than about 1 inch square, because it's got to go into a plastic tub to send, and there might be a couple of
so that's an encrusting coral, isn't it? An SPS?
No, it's a chalice.
That's chalice. Oh, it's another type of chalice.
Yeah, both from a chalice. And there may be a couple of other freebies I send in there as well. So I've got a blue recordia. So if the winner, UK only, by the way, but if the winner wants a blue recordia, then they can have that as well. So I'm looking to get rid of that.
So one person's winning all these rather than
winning. No, one person, because I don't want to have more than one winner, because I have to pay the postage for everyone. So it'll be one winner, and it'll be at least 3 corals. The Wheel of Misfortune will be done later on. So, Steve, how are you? I don't know why I should ask.
First of all,
what's the excuse?
Wait a minute. You're not echoing, but you are. Your sound's a bit too loud. Turn your sound down a little bit on your mic.
1 minute.
I think you just need to replace all our viewers' speakers now, Steve.
Yeah, and my headphones.
Is that better? Is that better?
A little bit crackly.
You're a little bit croaky, but that's a bit quiet now.
Go on, say it now. No, I can't hear you at all now. No, you need to go a bit louder. It's like up a bit, down a bit, up a bit.
Sounds horrendous. Echo, Steve. I thought you remembered. Do you remember we said this conversation? Remember the setting that we works, that when you come straight in, we look professional. Do you not get that? We remember that message.
This is like Groundhog Day. Now he's
subtitles.
And now we're going to do sign language.
There's a little person. What? No. Here we go again. It's turkey at Christmas.
I don't know what to say.
I reckon we should have Reefing live stream bingo, and the most common things you put on your bingo grid. That's definitely one. Steve saying, "Can you hear me?" Or your sound issues. Whiskey Tango.
I paid £4,000 for this computer.
All there with this computer. How's that? How's it?
No, still Dalek-y.
You sound like a Dalek, to be honest.
Thank you, Chris.
Dear Steve.
Up a bit, down a bit.
Up a bit, down a bit.
In fact, Julie, I think it was last week. And basically, when you wasn't here, it was okay. I'm not saying it's your fault, by the way.
There's 1 week where he came straight on and it worked, and we were like, remember that setting.
Yeah. But the problem is we can say that, but he can't remember it.
Is that better? Is that better now?
No. What is it? Is it?
His head looks like it's going to explode.
Oh, God, stop it, Steve. Is this deliberate or something? I don't know if it is deliberate, but it's funny. Oh, dear.
I tell you what, why don't you get a piece of paper and make some signs?
Yeah.
I don't know if he can hear us at all because he's taking his headset off.
No, yeah, probably can't hear us at all now. He didn't. I don't think he had his headset on when it worked properly. Oh, that was echoing.
Seems to.
Steve got the home.
No, not really. No, it sounds exactly like it does on the screen. It's the mic in his tank.
Oh, dear. It just sounds like you're underwater, to be fair.
Oh,
doesn't it?
It's gone again.
Oh, dear. Brought a bit of brightness to the stream there. Now he's gone again.
Right.
It only took him 20 minutes to find the link. Never mind his sound.
Right.
Sorry about this.
So let's finish off on the it's not the freebie. So yeah, 2 chalice.
Yeah.
A recordia. There might be a little bit of rubble rockets on, so there'll be at least one recordia. And I think that's about it, really, because if I send too many, I have to pay more postage, which sounds really tight. But yeah, so they'll come in little pots, peat packs, and everything else. It's only open to the UK, and we'll kick that off later on. Probably those people who've been here before for competitions, you know the score in terms of the timeline, roughly. So
well, it's a good prize, definitely a good prize. I mean, who doesn't like free coral? It's like the best prize ever, isn't
absolutely.
it?
And I've got to say, certainly if you look at Instagram, there seems to be more and more people picturing chalice. So I don't know if they're coming more in vogue than they were. Things
I think it's your cookies. Because you're a massive fan of you're a massive fan of chalice, don't you? So they think Paul likes a chalice. Let's put another chalice on his feed. There you go, chalice.
I suppose it could be if I like pictures of chalice.
Yeah, I get a lot of Goniopora and torches.
Oh, it could be that thing. So I'm not fussed about Goniopora, and so therefore I don't see any pictures. Oh my God, is that? That's like death, isn't it?
That is, at the moment, I'm a big fan.
So have you picked up the pinky?
Yes, I have.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Can we see it?
Was it Wednesday?
Yeah.
Was it Wednesday? Right. Let's. Do you want me to move the laptop and read?
Yeah. Let's have a look, because we've been talking about this for longer than Steve's had sound problems.
Well, I think I bought it it must have been about 4 weeks ago, surely. And then I let Christian at Signature Frags just grow it out a little bit for me, free of charge, as it were, using his food and dosing. Right, let's get the coral lens. What is it? What's this? My Olfec coral lens. Right, so when I show you the tank,
Michael Butler said it's gone brown now. Is that why the lens is going on?
The lens is going on just to give it a bit of colour, so it'll look orange through the lens.
Well, even though it's supposed to be pink.
Pinky balls, it's called, yeah.
Right, let's have a look.
I haven't found the balls,
or they're orange.
I don't know how pink it'll be on this, but anyway. Right. Yeah, I went to pick up. I think it was Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? I can't remember. Actually.
I know you said you was going this week to go and get it.
Yeah.
Did you pick anything else up? Because I can't believe you went there just for one item.
Oh, God. Do I do an exclusive? I've got another one as well, yeah. So, those eagle-eyed people will probably notice I've had a good shuffle round of my corals.
Okay.
So, there, I don't know, I can't see what you're looking at then.
Well, at the moment, we can...
Can you see the gonnies?
Yeah, we can.
So, that's my... I've just started a new gonny garden here because I want to have... I just want to collect 3 or 4 really nice gonnies. So, the nearest one, which you can't really see the inside of the flowers, but that's the pinky balls. Is it looking pink or brown? I can't tell because I can't see.
Brown, that.
He's got his voice back, and that's the first thing he says.
It's pink with green stems. Is that coming across?
So what one is it
brown
going to
with
be?
red.
Is it the one? Is it the one closest? Is it the one closest to us?
Yeah.
Well, I've got to say, it doesn't look very pink. I'm sure. Christian's in the chat. I'm sure when it left his coral farm,
here we go.
It was pinker than Pink McPink, but it's not pink now.
Well, the clownfish is getting in the way now, just because it's what's
Don't blame the clowns look brown as well.
Well, the clowns, right? I've got a story about the clowns. So I bought them. They were mocha clownfish.
Yeah.
And they were really orange. If you go back to my previous video, like the early ones, they were yellow, they were orange and white, and now they're all black. I don't know what's that. They look like, they got a tiny bit of orange on the face, but the rest of it's jet black.
Is that the new fashion, black and brown?
This here,
in a tank. Yeah, go on.
This here is the new Gonny Garden. So I've got the blue and yellow at the back, and there's the pinky balls, and then excuse me, I need to get 2 more. And I'm going to make this area a little Gonny Garden. There's my tracker feed. I don't know if you can see it just through the back there.
Yeah. And is that the A-can, the colourful
That's the A-cans,
yeah. The square, yeah.
That's the A-cans. Yeah. And then I picked up, so what used to be there was the green torch.
Oh. We've lost Jay.
Hello?
We've lost Jay now. I reckon he's. Do you know what? He's probably still talking. He's pulled the plug out, and he's still talking.
Yeah. How's that sound?
Is that perfect? Perfect, sir.
You know what? I've come to the conclusion of what it is. Yeah.
Go on.
Do not buy one of these people. The crap. Do not buy it. It's the microphone in this.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Because I've run a microphone, the microphone linked into this anchor thing, The picture is good, but the microphone is crap. So, I need to figure out something else.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, thank you. You're back, Jay. Did you pull the plug or something?
No, I'm holding my laptop and it's touch screen, and I closed the window. I was talking away, and I was like, "Hello, is anyone there?"
Well, we've been filling the gap with understanding Steve's technology and the fact that it's the webcam and the mic on it is naff. Right, okay. So back to proceedings. We've seen your gonies, your pink brownie balls. Yeah.
Yeah, my pink. So they're there. Originally, it was the green torch was there. You know, that huge green torch, about 6 heads.
Yeah.
And now I've moved it up here. Look, taking a little journey. Up we go. Right, that's now at the back. Look there. But can you see the newest edition?
What, the snail?
No, not the snail. On the rockwork there.
Oh, what that? Is that? What chalice is that?
What is it? Can you see it?
Yeah.
You know what that is? That's a Raja Rampage.
Yes, Steve. Well spotted.
That's a Raja.
It is. Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's only a tiny frag. I think it's got 3 eyes.
It looks like it's got 3 eyes. You can see the yellow coming through.
It looks like a love art.
Nice.
You see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's going to grow there. But because I've moved my torch near my SPS garden, look, it stung that little piece up there. Can you see it at the top?
Oh, yeah.
You see it, and there was one in the gap there where the blenny's head is poking up. I don't know if you can see the blenny, but it's underneath.
I can see the blenny, yeah.
Yeah, there was one there, but now it's here. The torch has had it, unfortunately. The torch has
stung it.
They
stung it, yeah.
I'll tell you what, though. Those Necroporas are doing well, OJ. They're growing well, aren't they?
Yeah, they look green. They look good,
then, mate.
Yeah. They are. Well, they're supposed to be yellow, but they do look green, right?
Jay, you always have to spoil it. We're thinking they're brown and they're gone green.
Do you know why?
They're supposed to be yellow.
Because they're not. If you turn up the light, it will go yellow. But obviously, I run a lower light spectrum for my torches.
Yeah. You're getting some really good comments here, Jay. Looking really good.
Thank you, guys.
Torches are looking good.
Yeah,
looks really good.
Thank you.
Brilliant, brilliant, that mate.
The torches are going to sleep a little bit at the moment, as you can see. They normally have a poo about this time, to be honest.
Thank you for that.
No, they do. They close up, don't they? And then there's a bit of brown string comes out, and then they close up for the night, and then they go back. Then they wake up,
and that's it. And they start and end with a poo. You really can't beat that, can you?
But do you like that Raja? It's nice, isn't it?
I've got Raja,
it's nice.
As you know, they're fantastic. I think they're really nice, especially around the yellow eyes. They get kind of a dark purpley colour around it, and it just makes the yellow pop even more. There's a question here, Jay. It says, "What was the coral on the tile to the right of your new goni?" I think it says, "Are they Zoas?" I think it's the it's the acan, isn't it?
This one here.
It's the acans,
Yeah, it's a rainbow acan, isn't it?
Micromusa, they're really nice. They're really nice.
Yeah. And someone says, "How's the Zoa garden going?" So do you want to just back up a little bit so we can see the Zoas?
Yeah, it's coming on really well. I don't know if you can see them at the back. You know the apple sours.
Yeah.
There's like an encrusting coral between. You can see it between the polyps, which I haven't paid for. It was It came on the frag plug. It's quite nice actually. I don't have a clue what it is, but it's that bright orange in between them.
Could be maybe it's hard to tell from here, but if it's bright orange,
could be
it's got
could be utter chaos.
It could be utter chaos. If you Google utter chaos, it could be that. I mean, I'm just guessing. Orange are probably the most popular orange ones that you see. I mean, utter chaos. I don't know. They used to be really, really cheap, and they're fantastic.
They're nice.
They really pop under blue.
So here's my garden. They're growing really well. But even though I planted them at the same time, just different species are growing at different rates. You see them rasters?
The rasters, haven't they taken over?
They're doing my head in them rasters. Look how many there is.
The rasters are one of the quickest ones of growing, mate. Seriously. You've got some scrambled eggs there. We've got some scrambled eggs. Blue rhinos. Are they blue rhinos then?
I've got
zippers.
Oh, well, I've got these are Spitfires, these orange ones. I've got some BBBs at the top. I don't know if you can see them. They're quite slow growing. This one here, these are my favourites. These are called Sensations.
Nice. Yeah, I like those.
They're orange. They're mandarin zoas on the corner. But I just wish I never went. You know, for your traditional rasters, I just wish I didn't go for them because look, they're just dominating it. Look.
So what you could do if you get a blade. And what you can do, I sometimes do this. You get a blade, and you can get underneath them, and they'll probably be connected. If you get under the blade, you can peel them off. Off the rock. Because it's underwater, I find you don't have to worry about issues with chemicals and stuff like that. And maybe over your hands, because if you've got cut hands or anything like that, then that's where you can get it. And just peel it back. And you'll peel them off. Now, if you end up peeling others off, then obviously you can just glue those back on. But if they're all together, you peel a lot of those off. As long as you get the right angle and just dink it back a little bit, it's definitely really doable that you can do that, Jay. But you need a nice sharp blade, I find, to do that on those.
I think I need to do that and just get some more variety in that bit because I'm not happy with, like you say,
taking it over, and the problem is
the mix of them
overtake it. They can be aggressive and then grow over the others, and the others then die.
But my zoas are from there's my rainbow chalice thing. My zoas are from here, and honestly I really recommend
ocean blue corals. Is that
ocean blue corals?
I remember you saying about that.
Oh, right,
they're really good for zoas. That's where I got mine. Most of my zoas. And then most of the other corals are from Signature.
Your chalice is doing nice, isn't it, Jay?
It is, mate. Yeah, it's looking all right there. It's not too bad. And then I've got another Monty there, the Juggernaut Monty on this edge here, but I've only just put it there.
Oh, yeah.
You see it?
Yeah.
I need
Needs tilting up, that mate.
Does it need to be pointed up to the light? Yeah.
Yeah, you need to be pointing like you've done it.
A little bit.
So maybe if I put it there.
Yeah, on the top there. Yeah.
Right, I'll do that tomorrow.
Uncrust out.
Definitely, mate. Because otherwise, what'll happen is that'll just be a dead spot, and it'll just die. You know what I mean?
Mate, I'm glad I joined the live stream. Thanks. I'll shift that. I'll shift. You've just given me loads of jobs here, basically, haven't you? I've got to trim my zoas.
Well, you might as well, mate. You might as well.
Thank you very much.
And I've got to say, if you put those zoas, then if you rip them off, they're easy then to glue onto a frag plug, and then you could sell them on, Jay. You could have the JRR. JRR, Jay's Real Reef Rasters. There we go. You've got your own brand.
Give them away. I would be happy to give them away. I've got loads, haven't I? That's the thing, but it's just cutting them off. It's cutting them off and then trying to find something else to put in its place. That's what I want to do. Yeah.
Listen, they'll grow so fast, mate. You know what I mean? Before you know it, they'll be back.
Yeah.
They don't take long for sure.
And there's a comment from Christian there. I think something about you owing rent.
I probably owe him rent about 6 times over.
I agree.
I end up buying a coral and then I don't know. I like the excitement of collecting it. So I like just leaving it a little bit longer. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I know that he'll look after it for me. But obviously, when I get it from the picture, it's always a little bit bigger because I've left it there for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great place to go. And apart from my zoas, most of the rest, nearly all the other corals have come from Signature. But yeah, so I've got my wish list now. I want 2 more gonnies, and I want some gorgonians. I want some like height, just some random height. So I want some gorgonians, but I'm after the photosynthetic ones, even though I don't think they look as nice as the non. Yeah. The non just seem like too much hard work to me, but so I think 4 more corals for this, and then I think it's full. Well, to be fair, that's why this Digi's died, because the torches just stung it. I've not got enough room for all the torches now.
That is a problem, isn't it? When things start growing out and space becomes a premium. I found the only thing that a torch has not stung in my tank was the Christmas tree favia. Yeah. Anything else that was close to it it doesn't sting mushrooms, because mushrooms seem to be invincible to anything, and zoas as well. But any kind of other LPS or SPS, they're just toast when they go. And also, it's weird. They must, I don't know, they smell them out or feel them out or whatever. The tentacles just seem to get longer and longer when it knows the coral's there. I don't know how it knows. It's a bit like the snails you have in the sand. As soon as you put a little bit of food in, bang, tentacles go up, submarine telescope, and they're all out on the sand. It's like that. How the hell do you know within 2 seconds there's food in the tank and you need to go there? It's a bit like the torch. They just seem to be able to sense it, don't they?
They do. Like when I was looking at my green torch earlier, the longest tentacles were facing the Digi. They were kind of aiming for it. And as soon as a torch hits something, that's it. It's a goner, isn't it? Yeah. It is a goner.
But when you think about it, whilst it's a pain in the what's it for us, I mean, it's superb that nature and how and that's like survival, and therefore that's my territory. And so
absolutely.
Even though it's not invading, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to just kill it. Bang, I'm just going to take it out. And that seems to be natural across a lot of things. Let's face it, fish are complete, utter what's-its to other fish, aren't they? If you look at certain breeds, they will just absolutely dominate and bully up that same breed until it's the victim.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's it.
Yes, just
dog eat dog world, isn't it? The fish world.
That's the downside of the nano. There's not enough estate or room to. So now the issue I've got now is coral warfare, and the only way I can do anything about it now is I need to upgrade. So it's lasted me It's lasted me a year and a half without any problems. But now I'm going to have to upgrade. Either that, or you'd have to just keep fragging all the time.
Yeah, you've got a choice, haven't you? You either upgrade or you frag. I've got to say, one of the biggest mistakes I made with that tank was putting too many corals in too close to one another. Now, it's okay if they're not encrusting, but as soon as you put SPS in, there's no way of getting. I mean, you can cut it back, but there's no way you can move it because it just encrusts. I mean, I've actually taken out the centerpiece in the tank. That is actually empty now. It was about 5 bits of rock. I had to take it out as one piece. Yeah, because it had all encrusted and it was just massive. So one of the mistakes I definitely made was putting too many corals in one go. I should have been more patient, put a coral in, no space around it, and just let it let it grow out. It would have saved me money. And secondly, I wouldn't have had coral warfare.
Yeah. I think
totally agree.
They need the space, don't they, to grow. But also this, adding a coral, taking them out. You'll know this, Paul, because you've taken out a hell of a lot of coral. Your parameters are going to swing like mad because you're going to affect how much calcium, alkalinity is taken up. So you'll probably find that your levels are going to go up now because you've got less coral.
My nitrates are about 60. My phos and my nitrates used to be at about 5 to 7, and I was good with that. And my phosphate, the last time I tested, it was off the scale, so it was above 0.2. And my regime's exactly the same, and that's because I'm down to about 15% of the corals I had. And then tomorrow, that big colony there is going, and I've got a big colony over here that's going as well. And I think that's the colony's virtually gone. So I've actually got my finger out this week.
You're on to meet the deadline here. I'm a bit worried.
I've got it because I'm going away, but then I've got to empty that, and then I've got to set the pico up. So I still haven't done that yet. So that's going first, and then the pico's replacing. I'm replacing 450 litres with 3 litres. That's downsizing for you.
Yeah,
that's a downsize.
On the pico challenge. Yeah, but I mean, Steve, you've got problems with coral warfare, haven't you?
I totally agree with you. Like you said, especially with SPS. I mean, it was a naivety move, really, but it was a basic move which was wrong, really. But I mean, in hindsight, I mean, because you always hear, don't you? SPS is slower growing. It's not as quick as blah blah blah. So you just think, I'm going to have plenty of time. But it comes to that point where once the SPS are settled in your tank, then they just explode. And once they explode, then you're in trouble because then you think, right, one of these are going to win. Whichever one is going to win. And 9 times out of 10, it's the one you don't want to win. Yeah, that wins. And then your really good one dies. So it's like, that's where I'm at now. So now it's like, I bought a PC Rainbow Acropora. Beautiful little piece off my mate. The colours on it are incredible from his colony. But the only problem I have was I didn't have space. So I thought, well, where am I going to put it? So I literally put it on top of another coral. So it's actually the frag plug is on top of the coral, and it's actually fused onto it. So it's holding it like a piece of rock. So it's worked perfect. It's fused perfect on it. So all I've got to do now is just keep snapping the pieces off so it doesn't go onto it. So it's worked a treat actually. But as for the rest of them, they're all just growing into each other. And I mean, I'm just leaving them to let them, find out their own path. But I totally agree with, like you said, definitely. If I had my way now, I'll probably put one every 3 or 4 inches. You know what I mean? Away from each other, one every 3 or 4 inches. Give them plenty of space. You know what I mean? SPS 100%. That's what it needs.
Yeah, and also I find if you've got more space and the flow, you get more of a natural growth on it. Whereas if they're hidden away, they grow in a funny shapes as opposed to maybe like a pot or a flower like that. I find the SPS will just flow like that, and they just grow like that, and they have a really nice, more natural look to them. Other than they grow out on one side or 2 sides because the flow isn't right or there's other stuff there. So I think you get a more natural look or a better look. I think to it if you if you do that.
I mean, exactly. I mean, remember this tank's over 3.5 years old now, isn't it? It was set up, so it's well and truly established that it does its thing now. It just does its own thing. But like I said, it is frustrating. At first it's like, they don't grow, they're not growing these SPS, but when they do, then you've got another problem because, like you said, you're like, what the hell? You're just cutting them, you're fragging them, you're snapping them, you're throwing them in the graveyard, you do what the hell you want. And you just nothing. They just keep growing, don't they? And you come to your wits' end now, where you're thinking, right, what am I going to do? I'm not going to buy another tank, that's for sure. So what have I got to do? So it's like, do I take this out? Do I take that out? Do I snap this off? You know what I mean? So it's
I was a lot happier with that tank when I started clearing the sand bed and I actually cleared some of the rocks at the front and done away. And I actually cleared a lot of stuff off the sand bed and all the rocks. And I thought it looked a lot better. Well, and I was a lot happier with it because otherwise I I find, and I think we all probably do it. We all put loads of corals in. It's on the sandbed, and I'm not too sure it looks as good as it should do.
It doesn't look. It doesn't look a reef. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, to me, it doesn't look a reef when they're all over the all over the floor. And this is my problem now. So I've come to a dilemma, and these people, you know, the audience and the viewers can answer me this question. They can put down in the comments what they think I should do. I'm thinking of going a different path now with my tank. Yeah. So I love SPS, and especially the way they're grown and stuff like that. So where my torch coral garden is now, where my torch coral garden, I'm thinking of building the rockscape up, just slightly, and then going all SPS all across. So basically, it's just going to be more of an SPS dominated tank. I was thinking of selling my torch corals other than my Holy Grail. I'm going to keep my Holy Grail with everything else. Yeah. Is possibly going for sale, and now they've got each one of them have got 6-7 heads on them. Do you know what I mean? So this is what I'm thinking of doing, and then basically going all SPS, all on the top, and I think that'll look more of like a proper reef. Do you know what I mean? So I'm thinking of maybe, and then clearing the sandbed. All I'm going to keep on the sandbed is the gunnies. I'm going to get rid of one of my clams. I'm going to keep the gunnies. I'm going to keep the gunnies, the rainbow chalice, and the scully. That's all I'm going to keep. As for the rest, I'm thinking of getting rid of them, and then it just clears that sandbed. Then bit of, movement and stuff like that.
I agree. I must admit, I've really struggled, as you may have noticed, to get rid of the coral.
Yeah,
because I've been gutted to break colonies down that are a foot in diameter. The chalice I'm getting rid of tomorrow is about 18 inches long by about 9 inches wide. I've fragged it a couple of bits because it's at a side angle like that. I mean, you think this tank's 5 foot, and that one there goes from the back, probably not to the front, about halfway, if that, an angle, and that is a chalice. Yeah, it looks. I think it looks fairly big in the picture, but I must admit I've been gutted to get rid of quite a few of the pieces, and there's a couple of pieces I'm not getting rid of. But, it's got to move on. That's the way it goes.
I mean, that's it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I love torch corals. I love it. But when I keep looking at the tank, I'm not getting bored of my tank. I'm getting more like, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to change it, to do something different in the tank? So I'm thinking to, try to turn things up a bit. And like you said, the sandbed, the bottom of the tank is looking all not messy because it all looks nice. Like the colours and all that are perfect, but it just looks too cluttered. When you go to a jumbo sale, you go to a jumbo sale, and you see all, there's clothes everywhere, all over the shop. You know what I mean? You're like, if you put the clothes on a clothes rack, it looks a lot better, doesn't it? You know what I mean? As opposed to all over the floor and stuff like that. So this is my way of thinking, and then I'm thinking like all SPS, all along the top. Just keep the torch, and then just move my Holy Grail torch on the floor. Move that down onto the floor bed, onto the sandbed, and that way just keep that one. And then as for the rest of them, get rid of them, and that's maybe a path I'm going to go. I think.
No, it makes sense. There's a question I'm going to come back to in a minute because there's just a few comments I've missed and I just want to run through them. So they're about if you cook your corals there, Jay, you're more likely to get a yellow colour, which I think is what you said earlier on. You quite often get a Zoa that dominates. Absolutely. I used to have Utter Chaos that used to dominate the frag tank I had for sure. Ocean Blue Coral was awesome. Joe's a good lad.
Really nice corals.
Not had much luck with gonies myself. Where is the pink in the pinky balls gone?
I've got rid of it. Because I'm not running my Royal Blues so you can see the tank basically. Yeah. So when you put the Royal Blues on, it's much pinker. I'll get a picture. I'll show you next week with the Royal Blues on. Okay.
Julie, I've not put corals in for a very long time. So is it looking better?
Yeah,
Julie, it's settled and you got the corals growing out. Because I do think if you keep on throwing corals in, you create a little bit of instability, and that goes towards people setting up the tanks first 12 months, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I always find the issues come when you start adding stuff or taking stuff away. If you just leave it, I think we need reef tanks more than they need us. You know what I mean? We have to fiddle with them, don't we?
Yeah, but that's what they say. That's what they say. Even when you add like when you start up a new tank, say for instance, they don't say go and add 7 fish, 16 corals, and umpteen fish. They don't say that, do they? You know what I mean? You're supposed to like add them gradually, like 1 fish, 2 fish, and then after 3 or 4 weeks, maybe add another little fish, and then add a coral. You know what I mean? And then move on. You're not supposed to do it because you're just overloading the system. And then you're just going to ask for, you're asking for trouble. It's just like a bomb waiting at war. Bioload's too high.
Absolutely.
Simple as that, mate. You know what I mean?
I saw a really good video. It was a really good video. WWC, Worldwide Corals. They did a video, I think, on their 1,500-gallon tank. I think it might be in the last week or two. And towards the end, he was saying around, obviously people come in the shops and some of the biggest mistakes. And one of the mistakes is people make more than one change at a time.
Yeah,
not
I've seen it.
Have you seen? Not all tanks like the change you make.
Week.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so you think about it. One of those changes, if you put lots of corals in, that's a change to your tanks. If you put corals and fish, and maybe you change lights as well, you've got no idea how the tank's going to react, and you just done 3 arguably big things to your tank, and then you wonder why, and you think, why does that look crap, basically. So it was a really good video actually on the 1,500.
I seen it.
How they done.
I watched it. Yeah, that big, huge 1,500-gallon thing in it. Yeah. That's what we mate. I mean, totally agree. It's like you said, changing. I mean, like you said, even just adding coral. Yeah, you add a ton of coral into a new system. Yeah, it just goes to exactly what you just said, Jay. It'll drop the alkalinity like that. Yeah, because the consumption of it is they're just going to. So you might have an alkalinity of 8.5, 9. Yeah, if you add 10 or 15 corals into it, decent sized chunks. Yeah, you test a couple of days later, and it'll probably drop by like 2 or 3 DKH. Do you know what I mean? Because the consumption is just being consumed straight away, and then people go, I don't know really what's happened. The tank was running perfect. You know what I mean? Yeah, until you added 15 corals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and mine's the opposite. I've taken the corals out.
Yeah.
And the nitrates, it's done the opposite. Nitrates and phosphates gone up.
Yeah.
I've had to really cut back on my dosing, which I've done because I know that's to stop that. So it's the reverse to what other people do. It's the opposite effect to what you're just saying.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And that's because all your corals, Paul, when they were in there, they were
sucking it all out. Absolutely. That's why I had low nutrients. Because I had a stack load of 450 litre that's basically wall to wall and on the sand bed. It's just got coral that's been growing there. Some of them are from my previous tanks that have been in there 7 years. And I haven't had a fish. Last fish I had into this was probably 3 to 4 years ago. No new fish in there. So that's pretty stable. Right, let's see what else we got on there. AB Reef, still waiting for Jay fragging his.
Do you know what? I will do, if I know what I need, I'll get it this week and I'll have a go. I don't mind having a go on next Friday's live stream. If so, I need a scalpel. Why are you laughing? You think
no, that's fine. I mean,
I'm not getting the scape out. There's no way I'm moving the scape.
No.
I'll have to do it in situ.
You need a scalpel.
Look at Steve. He's a cat.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. So you need a scalpel. You need some gloves. You need some frag plugs. You don't have to have frag plugs, but you could have that or a little bit of rubble rock. You could glue them onto rubble rock.
No, I got rubble rock.
Okay, so in which case some plugs. And then you just need to tear them off. Have a little pot outside where you've full of water, so put them in the water, and then I would attach them onto frag plugs or something, and then put them straight into water, let them stand, let them settle, and then put them back into the tank, and they'll should open.
Reef glue. I need some reef glue to attach to the plugs.
Yeah.
What about the toxins from when I cut them in the tank? I've got a bit of carbon.
If you've got carbon, just replace carbon.
Yeah.
Replace it. Get new fresh one in. You don't need to go mad. Just put what you usually put in, but just replace it and then stick the carbon in it.
Right. Well, there you go. He says we need a live fragging from Jay, and
I'll give it a go. It'll probably go. I was going to swear then. It'll probably go. It probably won't work. I was going to say something, but
AB Reef, you could be eating the word on that one. We'll wait and see.
Look, someone scared me now. I might not do it now. Riggs is scaring me.
If you do it in the water,
Yeah.
Then you're not going to get it squirting. You won't. It's unlikely you expose it to the air that you put carbon in.
Yeah.
You got the window open, and when you take them out, put them in a pot in some water, and then glue them when you're in the water, and that way you're not exposing it.
Right.
That's what I would do. Reef King's asked your tank. It's not 250. It's a 350, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, it's 350, mate. Yeah.
Right. So I'm just going to go down, and I'll come back to the question on condensation in homes. Right. Yeah. SPS dominant.
I've seen a video about fragging zones, and it didn't end very well. So hopefully it didn't happen to me.
I've fragged loads.
Another YouTuber had a fragging incident, and it scared the hell out of me.
There you go. Polytoxin poisoning live.
That's what I mean. You need goggles. I've got goggles. I can just use my reef goggles, can't I?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're
the Rocky J show next week. Need some goggles. You got those. Right, so let's go back up. So, question for Paul and Steve: with your larger tanks, do you suffer from excess moisture from condensation in your homes? Do you want to answer first, Steve?
Never, mate. I've never suffered with condensation. Never. I mean, I only live in an old 1900 terraced house, so it's not a massive house, you see. But I've got like the window, so it's in the center of the room. So it's the window, the main front bay window is literally, I'd probably say, 12, 15 feet or something. And then 9 times out of 10, we have the back door open for the dog most of the time, so you can go in and out. So really, I've never ever suffered from condensation. Touch wood, to be truthful with you. So no, I don't know. What about you, Paul?
No, I've been okay. So over here, there's a vent. So there's a vent that's always open.
Right.
And there's always, you can feel it in the winter because you can feel a little bit of cold air coming through. So it's been all right because I've always got a constant flow, a small amount of air. But I mean, if you look at it, that's virtually up against the wall. So it's, it's what, 2 foot away from the tank. So I think that helps. One, it helps with pH. Never had an issue with pH in there at all. And also there's a constant flow of clean air. What I was thinking of doing, if I end up, obviously with the extension, and then I end up putting a big tank next to me here, I am then thinking around, okay, how do I manage the flow on that? Because it's in the middle of the room, and it's an extension, you've got more likely to have less ventilation coming in. So I'm then thinking about having vents and other things where I can actually suck the air out and push more air in, because it may well be a bigger tank. And I don't want to take the risk of condensation, but also you do get a smell from this tank every so often. It's quite old. You've got the skimmer. So I don't want that next to a kitchen. So in which case then, if you've got a flow of air coming in and out, you can then suck the air out. That's only if I go big. If I don't go big, then I won't bother with that. But that's more around the air quality and the smell than anything else. Because every so often you get a bit of a pong from this tank. But we don't live in this room other than live stream. So we're in other rooms another room in the other end of the house, and you can't really smell it. So I think from condensation point of view, no.
Sounds like you need a bit more carbon in yours if it's smelling. I never actually smell my tank, even though the skimmers are at the top here.
Yeah.
No.
I would. That was one of my biggest worries when I got a saltwater tank. I thought, is it going to stink of fish in the sea? And I don't smell it.
Mine's only been recently, probably in the last 12, 18 months. But in the last 12 months, I haven't taken as much care of the tank as I probably should have. Yeah. So it's probably a little bit of maintenance, and the skimmer needs cleaning. Yeah. And of course, if you get a skimmer that's full up of crud, boy, can that smell. And then when you empty it, it don't smell very nice, does it? So I usually open the door and empty it through that way, just so I don't cart a smelly skimmer cup through the
The only time my tank ever stinks, and it's not the actual aquarium, it's the sump. And it's when you're doing that every 6 months, and you're sucking a little bit of the detritus out of the bottom, and you're stirring it all up, aren't you? Stirring it all up, and that's the only smell you hear. It's the only smell you can smell is when I just stir it up. So in fact, that's why I only do it once every 6 months. I'm not going to do it anymore. But other than that, no, I've never smelled my tank. Never. It's always been okay.
It does if you stir it up. But I think it's my own fault because that didn't smell before that. Yeah. Right. So anyway, the Poetry Witch has put on there around keep tank by a window door.
Mine's always
there. Condensation out of the room.
It's like wide open all the time.
So I think it's ventilation definitely helps on that front. So I don't know if that helps or not. Just moving down, who's calling 999 for Jay next? We don't want comments like that.
Well, hopefully all 60 of you watching, they should get somebody here.
Well, if they call an ambulance and we've got a live stream with a paramedic in the room, I mean that that's going to get some views. That's a bit extreme to get some views.
These people will look after me, I'm sure. God, you're scaring the hell out of me now.
Yeah, Christian uses bandsaw.
Yeah, he's nuts though compared to me. I'm overly cautious.
And always make sure you have an ironing board in the room. That's Steve's favourite.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
Can we have a poll on here? Can we have a poll?
The only one who can have a poll out of the three of us is Ross, because he's gone over 1,000 subs, and then that facility becomes available. So I've got no one near 1,000 because I don't make videos.
That's all.
So what was the question? And maybe people can put it in the comments.
So Steve talked about it earlier about corals on the sandbed, and when I started reefing, it didn't bother me, but now I'm starting to get more wound up by seeing corals on the sandbed. So my poll was basically, should you put corals on the sandbed of a reef tank, or does it start to look unnatural? Because I think it looks unnatural. The best tanks I see on Instagram don't tend to have any corals on the sandbed. And I think it looks, like you said, super clean, and it looks more natural.
I think it certainly looks cleaner.
Yeah.
And you probably have less issue with flow and stuff like that, because you've got some flow going across the sandbed, as long as it's not too much. Yeah. So I think it looks better without. Having said that, when I look at the floating aquascape, when that's got no corals on the sandbed, that looks really good. The problem is I'm taking corals out from there, so it looks a bloody mess at the moment. But it definitely looks a lot better when there's no absolutely zero on the sandbed. That's not going to happen for a few months until I sort that.
I'd like
I'll go down and look at the comments. I'm just going to go through some comments, and I'll go to the bottom and look to see who's putting yes and who's putting no. If your windows aren't vented, you'll struggle with condensation. I've got 120 gallons, and in the winter, the windows are running.
It's a
good tip. I have to empty the skimmer cup when the wife is at work. She hates the smell. Yeah, I know what you mean. Do you yes, I do. So I've used the Wicks wet dry vacuum cleaner, absolutely superb for cleaning out your sump. It takes out about 25 litres in hardly any time whatsoever, and it's got an auto cut off. So every so often I'll clean out the sump. And before it used to be a real pain to clean it out, but now you put that in there and it's a right whiz. Steve, do you use anything to?
I've got that little, that little vacuum that Seachy pump, the Seachy pump, the vacuum, what they made. I just have that because basically I don't take the water out. All I do is I run the water through a through a micron sock. Yeah. So I'll run it through the micron sock. So I'm basically sucking it. So the water is all the crud and all the detritus is gets stuck in the sock, and yet the water just passes through it. So I don't take any water out. I do it as a water
change. So the only water change I do is when I clean out the sump.
Yeah.
I know you're allergic to water changes, but I do it every so often. So I tell you what, I need to keep every millimetre in that tank. I need to keep it. I've got to say, if you clean out your sump, it's a game changer having a wet dry vacuum from, I think they do them in Wicks and maybe Screwfix and B&Q as well. Jay, you would empty your tank in seconds.
I was just thinking, if I put that vacuum in my sump, I'd put the switch on at the mains and the water would just go, boom. It should be like it's on the bottom. It's just 25 litres in, that's my whole tank pretty much wiped out in one switch.
It would do, but when you get a sump,
I've never vacuumed my sump either. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't vacuum the display because it'll be out of control. But the sump, it's a winner. So let's keep going on the comments. So I use lids and don't have issues with my house. Also fix vents in the walls in each room. So you got a bit of both there. And then we start getting on to the comments. So Pennywise, love the logo there. Definitely not. I don't have any on my sand bed.
Yeah, I agree with these people.
Touching the sand is banned.
Yeah, I think,
You don't find corals on a sand bed in nature. I prefer not.
True that.
But that's because I have a naughty pistol shrimp that would cover them all up. No,
maybe
I've got a
yeah. I mean, listen. Let me have my take on this. Yeah, I do agree. If you've got that if you've got those couple of special pieces, then I think you should. You've got to make the space on the sandbed to show it, to highlight it on the floor, on the sandbed. Yeah, don't get me wrong. But like you said, if you have too much on it, like me, I've got zoas on it, I've got montes, I've got everything all on it. Yeah, so it's just too cluttered, and plus because I have a decent sized scape as well. That makes it even more so. It makes it look even more cluttered. But I reckon if I just have the 3 things that I said before, 3 or 4 things that I said before, all along that sandbed, I reckon it'll look totally different. It'll look like a total different reef. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have to agree. I do believe that it looks better without a cluttered sandbed. Without a cluttered sandbed, I'm going to say cluttered as opposed to being completely clear. But like you said, somebody who mentioned that before, you don't see him on the in nature. Absolutely, yeah, you probably don't see him in nature. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. It's a tough one.
In my next tank, in my next upgrade tank, I'm going to go clean sandbed, definitely.
Yeah.
I just think I agree with all these people in chat. I just think it doesn't look natural.
It looks better.
Yeah,
it looks better. It does look better.
I haven't practiced what I preach, but at some point I will.
Corals on sandbed is like corals in a frag rack. It shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Controversial, but I think there's some truth.
I don't
Tell me about it, mate. Yeah. Oh, mate.
Absolutely.
You love a frag rack, Steve. You got about 6, ain't you?
It's like a superstore.
It's because you pump like 200 mil calcium each day and 200 mil alkalinity, don't you? Like a lorry comes through your dosing each day.
Me?
Yeah.
It's 300 mil a day I'm on.
Back the lorry up every morning with all the blooming.
You know what? When Paul, when Jay mentioned the other day in our private chat when he was saying
3 mil,
what was it? 3.8 to 4 mil. I started. I'm not going to say what I was doing. Yeah, I was pissing my pants. Hey, you went, I've got a 3.8 4 mil. I'm like, what the?
I've gone from 3.8 mil alkalinity to 4.2 mil. Do you think it'd be all right? Do you think it'd be all right? And you lot were all like, I don't think you even notice.
I was doing over 200 mil in this. Steve's obviously doing something similar as well. And you're only a toss over 0.4 of a mil on that. I was just chuck it in.
I said to the missus, I said, yeah, Jay's worried whether 0.2 mil is going to do any damage to his system. She went, 2.2 mil? Even my missus who doesn't do reefing, she's like, yeah, I don't think 0.2 mil is going to do much damage
to it. When you see the numbers on the dosing, you think it's more, but actually 0.2 mil is it's like a tiny drop in it, really.
You can't see it, can you?
Yeah, you can't see it. You won't be able to see it.
I didn't think about that. I just see the numbers obviously on the dosing. To quantify it, it's hardly a dot of water, is it?
Yeah,
it's not even a dot of water, mate. I don't think it is a dot of water.
Well, it's not. So Jay, your tip of the day is that keep your sandbed clean.
That is. That's got to be the tip of the day.
Corals. There we go.
That has got to be the tip of the day.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I think you're right, mate.
And there we go about leave mushrooms to grow on a sandbed so they can attach to the bottom of the base and then glue them onto the rock.
Yeah.
That's a fair
point. Good call.
Right, so I'm now going to go up to a comment around.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on the Radium 5 and 6? Is it worth getting the 6 over the 5? Now, there's a comment from Christian saying that they was actually the UK wholesaler or distributor was in. That's a comment. Now, funny enough, I posted a comment on Facebook the other day. So I said about there's a 4-year gap between the 4s and 5s and a 2-year gap between the 5 and 6. And I put cynically, if you're new investors gone into ecotech, have they made a new one so they can sell more? And funny enough, Jez, who we know because Jez donated the 15 for our giveaway, he came back with a comment.
What did he say?
And what he said is just a couple of facts on this. It's been more than 2 years between the 5 and 6 on that, and also between the 3 and 4. And what he said was they have to do a lot of retooling. So whenever they bring out a new version, there's a lot of retooling. And he said if it was about making more cash, then actually the wiser thing would have been to keep the 5s out there longer, because then the investment they made in the 5s, they would have got a better return. So they wouldn't have had to do the retooling. That's a fair point. And actually the technology has moved on quite a bit in the last couple of years. And what they're doing, they've used exactly the same casing, I think, and I've seen that elsewhere.
Yeah, it is, better
technology in there. So to be fair, I know Jez sometimes watches this. So if you're on, Jez, thank you. I think it's a fair point. If they wanted to milk the cow longer, that's my words, not his, then actually to keep selling the 5, they would have got a better return on it, made more money off of that, and then deferred the 6 and bring that out longer. Oh, sorry, wait maybe 6, 12, 18 months to do that. And I think, I mean, I haven't seen, obviously, the Gen 6. Christian says he has here, and you got a big improvement in the colour rendition. The colours look better. It makes it look like 4K. So, I mean, I haven't seen it, but it was really good. So, thank you for Jez. Fair comment on there. I put myself above the parapet. I'm not saying he shot me down, but he certainly put me right on a couple of points. So,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to have a pair of them, the XR30s over my tank, but I mean, you know, the cost of them, they've got up. I think for an XR30, I think it's gone to £900.
I saw 799. No, I think that was a pre-order, but I don't know if that's right or not.
It might have been Well, somebody posted on a forum that I was on, and they mentioned this saying, "Is it worth the upgrade from G5s to the G6s?" Yeah. And he went, yeah, if you can afford the price of the XR30s at £900. So I was like, 900? Hold on a minute. Well, the G5s, what are them? 749, 759 or something. So I thought, those were the exact same words that I said was, is it worth the upgrade from a G5, to a G6? Well, I don't know. But you'd have to see it to believe it, wouldn't you? You'd have to have a look. You'd actually have to have a look.
Well, Christian's saying he was blown away in the huge difference. And he's got the 5s. I think he's got the 5s, hasn't he, at the moment? And obviously he's had a...
he's got all 5s.
Yeah. It comes down to cost, doesn't it? I mean, if you haven't got a tank and you want to do it, and then you can say, well, actually spend it. But, you know, is it worth the upgrade from 5 to 6? And I suppose individuals have got to make a decision on, is that worth it or not?
Now, if you're a new starter and you're just setting up a tank, would you go out and buy them, or if you had G5s there or you had G6s, and say for argument's sake, it's an extra 150 miles, would you buy it? Would you buy them? You know what I mean? You probably would. I would because I'd want the best. Do you know what I mean? Just like we all do. You want the best, don't you? Yeah. So I probably would, but I mean, it's a lot of money in it for one light. You know what I mean? And then if you need 2 or 3 of them, it's like you're looking at £2,500 for 3 lights. Do you know what I mean? It's massive investment in it, but you know what? I suppose it's like I said.
Well, you've got like $5,000 a coral, like you have, Steve. You got $5,000 a coral easily. So you're talking about $2,500 for lights. That's what coral needs. It's the most important thing for the coral is the lights.
Yeah, but it's I'd have to sell my coral, and then I won't have any coral to grow.
Sell the coral to upgrade your lights,
to upgrade the lights.
Yeah, but you'd have an empty sand bed though, Steve. You'd have no corals in your sand bed, so you'd be happy.
Very true, mate. Yeah,
just gone. Sand bed cleared. You've got well over $2,500 to spend on lights.
Yeah. There's a few comments around there's an upgrade kit coming out, and it's a So go on, Steve.
No, no, you're right, Jay. I mean, you know what? You're right.
Thanks, mate.
I know. I always say it. You know, I always say it. You know, like you're keeping water out. You're not keeping coral. You're keeping the water. As long as the water is stable and the water is good, anything can grow in it. Anything can grow in good water conditions. Simple as that. So and then I believe that I think the water is the most important thing. And then after that, lighting. Flow. Lighting is next. You know what I mean? And then flow. You know, and stuff like that. That all comes. But to me, water. As long as your water is good, first and foremost, then everything else fits into place. Do you know what I mean? So, but we've seen before. Like I've got the old crappy 26 HDs. You know what I mean? I've had them 4 years, 4.5 years. You know what I mean? Yeah, one of them's still going 4.5 years later. Never had a problem. The other one's 2.5 years old, 3 years old. So never had an issue with the Hydra 26s. I love them. I really do love them. But one day will come where they're going to conk out. They're going to go out there. Then I have to think, well, which path am I going to go? Would I go for the Radions or would I go for, like, say, something different, like, say, the Aquaforest? Not the Aquaforest, the Reef Factory.
It depends on your price point, though, doesn't it, Steve?
Exactly.
How much you've got. I mean, they're 7 years old. They've been going 7 years, and they've still been growing coral really, really good. So I think it depends on, are you starting out? Do you want to upgrade? What's your price point and what you're looking for? Let's face it, if you were starting out and you had the money, would you go for Gen 6s?
Yes, I would.
That's what it comes down.
You would. Absolutely. Anybody who says they won't, but you know what DC Reefing is channel. I love watching DC Reefing. He's got G5s and G4s. All over his, and they do. And you know what?
And I've got 4s out in the garage, and I love both of them. And to be fair, Jez said he's got, they've got people, they've got, customers, clients who've got G3s, G4s, all kinds growing, all different. So it really depends on your price point and everything else. But I think what Christian's saying there, he's got 5s and he's growing, and you've seen the quality of these corals there, Jay, and he said there's a big difference between the 5s and 6s. He didn't actually say whether. So, Christian, are you going to go for the 6s?
Can I just pick up on the upgrade point? Yeah. So I'm definitely upgrading the 5 to the 6.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm going to go from the XR15 Blue 5. I'm going to take out the LED board because that's what you can do, and put the 6 in. And for 2 reasons. Number one, the purpose of the light is to grow coral.
Yeah.
And the 6 has more blues and UV, more bluer spectrum light, which is what the corals used to grow. So it'll grow the corals better than the 5. And then it's got more of the kind of fluorescence and UV, which makes the coloration of your corals, the bioluminescence of your corals, pop. So I just can't turn it down. I can't resist having. You know what
though, the UV you don't need tons of UV. Anybody who runs tons of UV is
it's like the royal blues. It's like the blues. The royal blues.
The blues is. Yeah, the blues is different, but the UV, the UV is the one. On those ones were the ones that are burning the lenses out. But
it's not true UV on these. Apparently, it's not true UV on the 5s compared to the 6s.
Right.
That's another thing that they're saying in terms of the LEDs.
What is it then? If it's not a true UV,
I don't know. It's called UV, but apparently it isn't true UV spectrum. I don't know, mate. Enough about the spectrums of the LEDs.
You know what? I'm going to look into it and just to see what it is, because UV is not necessarily needed in it. You know what I mean? That's why, I literally run. I think I run about 10% or 8% of UV on my lights. Never running, mate. You know what I mean? The rest of it, I run blue. I run mainly blues. I don't run reds. I don't run greens. I run blue. I run a little bit of white. And violet, that's it. I don't really run anything else. You know what?
So I'm going to come back to you, right? You bought an Orphec bar, didn't you? For one reason, which was to make your corals look brighter, more colourful.
Yeah.
And that's the reason. That's kind of what's drawing me in to the 6, because that's one of the things. That's the added bonus. Obviously, it grows your corals more because it's got more blue spectrum.
Yeah.
But it makes them look better. I've always been jealous of your Orphec bar because it makes your corals look amazing.
Yeah.
And obviously,
well, you know what? I'll post a video. I'll do a video. Funny you should say that, because I'll do a video because I cleaned my lights out. I cleaned my lights out the other day. Actually, I should have done a video on that, on how to clean them, and I just put a bit of little rubbing alcohol on the fans and clean them. And I think if you maintain your equipment and maintain your stuff, it'll last longer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And stuff. So all that was left on it was the Orphic bar. That was all that was left on it, and the colour of it was crazy. And I said to the missus, the missus seen it, and she was like, "Wow, the tank looked totally different." Like, and I said, "Exactly." And I thought, if I had my way, I probably would just go all Orphic, loads of Orphic bars all the way along. Take them out, but. There's no way of hanging them. You've got to hang them on those hanging brackets, I believe. Yeah, and she doesn't want things screwing into the roof. Do you know what I mean? Which I don't really, to be fair. Yeah. And I was like, she doesn't want anything dangling from the roof. So it was like, but if I had my way, I probably would buy about 6 or 7 of those Orphic bars, the big 4-foot ones, and stick them in it, mate. Stick them in like a holder or something, because it just makes your tank look totally different.
Exactly. You know I want some of that action.
Totally different. It's incredible.
The bioluminescence of your Orphic bar will be probably similar to what the G6 looks like in terms of its colour, the colour pop and the fluorescence. So I'm excited, but I don't know how much the upgrade kit is. If anybody knows,
people are saying £400. What I'm going to do, because I don't know. So that's 400 quid, but that's a good point. I don't know if that's for the 30 or the 15. Right. What I'm going to do is, because obviously you two got a difference of opinion, which is great. And what we said in this hobby, there's loads of different ways of running the tank. What I'm going to do now, if that's okay, I'm going to run through loads of comments, because I've got quite a few comments here from
Let's see what everybody else
people that have different view. That's the first one we start off.
They'll look fluorescent brown, though, won't they?
That's a fair point. A different shade of brown is brighter. I've got 4 of them, so that's not happening.
Yeah,
the G5s already do well. Upgrading to 6 would give me nothing extra. A fair opinion. The research makes a big difference. As any changes takes weeks or months to see the difference. I just bought the 5s for my new tank. Now there was 15% off the Gen 5.
They're on sale now. To
be fair, you've had a decent go there. I'm going to borrow one of the G6 Blue and Pro soon. Come over, Jay, and you can have a look and see it makes a difference. So there we go. You've got a scoop there.
Can you lend it for me this time? That'll be a long-term loan on there. That'll be ideal. Thanks, mate.
How long is that? What, you want to borrow the 6 until the 7 comes out? Then you can give the 6 back and get the 7. I like the style.
I do like the fact that you can upgrade the existing 5, though. Yeah, I do like that. That does make. Otherwise, I wouldn't have obviously done it if I'd have stuck with the 5. But the fact that you can do the kind of, I don't know how much the XR51 is, but if it's like 250, 300. It's kind of
you can't have one without the other. It's a balancing act. So I think that is in response. I think Steve was saying, look after your water, and then you got the lights, and then you got your flow. And I think there's you're right. I think there's a balancing act that you have to make across things. In terms of what you do. Sometimes I wish I'd still had my Chinese black box Mars lights. Neptune Sky, Red Sea LEDs are superb for the money. Yeah, I've heard that. I have G5 Pros, and depending on the upgrade kit price, I may go that route.
That's right.
TMC Photon, and then you've got the Peninsula AM Prime there. Move.
Where have you been, Steve, for a jog?
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I just go for a jog to find my phone, to find my not phone charger, to find my laptop charger.
I'll be losing you again.
Otherwise,
that's it. They have more violet than blue. They do. It's the coral
so it's violet and blue,
it's more coral growing spectrum.
Yeah,
it's not true UV on either the 5 or 6. True UV is a sub 400, and neither come close.
That's what I was trying to say, but that's the actual answer.
What's Chrisley put? What did Chrisley put? The UV is more for what? Coral health,
And I think that's what has been lacking for aquapora health in the most of the LEDs versus the halides and the T5. So maybe,
right.
I suppose as we go through the different versions, they're going to get better and better. The technology evolves, and you think from I had the Gen 2 when I first started out, and definitely if I look at the 4s compared to the Gen 2s, they're head and shoulders. I haven't got the 5s and 6s, so you can just imagine that the improvements you get through the technology and what it'll be like in 5 or 6 years' time. Reef Builder's done a breakdown on the 5
I saw that.
and the 6. I haven't seen that yet.
Great video. He hasn't put it on the tank yet, but the review of the 5 and 6 comparison, you must watch it.
Right. Yeah, I will do that. Don't confuse condition with health and colour development. True UV is what corals need.
Ah.
There we go.
Right.
Well, you use UV sterilizers for the same thing for the healthy tank, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you use UV sterilizers to kill nasty bugs and all that, mate.
Bacteria and algae.
Certain bacteria,
Ick as well, velvet.
I love my Reef LEDs 90s, Red Sea ones. LEDs. Thanks, Chris. Yeah. Hi, Hayley.
Hey, hi, Hayley.
Good to see her. She's coming for the competition. Smart lady. So when's the coral giveaway happening, guys?
I was just getting passionate about these new G6s. I am.
Right. So
these trying to talk me out of it, but I've already made my mind up. Anyway, coral giveaway. Sorry, Paul.
Yeah. So I think we're probably at about that time. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick the word, and then I'm going to get the Wheel of Fortune and put that into here. I don't know what time we'll close it off. We'll do it at some point, and then we'll do it a little bit later on. Whilst we're doing that, one thing I want you two guys to talk about as I'm picking up the names and stuff like that. I don't know if Jay, you can hear me, or if you've left.
No. I'm just thinking of the word that people can put in the chat. That's all.
Yeah. So. Do you know what? It's
turkey baster.
On guard, Jay. It's like a wizard.
I look like a Jedi.
And there's no light on them. Right. So I think the term might be based me up.
Based.
So that's.
You normally hold it together. You're the professional one. You just
based me up because you need a good base for the tank.
Based me up.
So that's the term, right? So right, okay. You start putting those terms in, and I'll start putting the Wheel of Fortune ready in a minute for the calls. Now, it is a version of base me up. You know, I'm not going to be precious on the spelling. I probably couldn't spell it right myself.
Base me up, baby.
We've got.
Right. You've got a load of people basting you up there, Paul.
This is like Harry Potter with my glasses. Yeah, fair point.
Well,
right, I've got my alarm going off for me diabetes, so I just need to have some sugar.
You've been bleeping a lot tonight. You need to definitely get your sugar up. What do we have to talk about whilst you're getting basted? Because I feel like
this is deteriorating.
Being still in the same room as you, it feels like that.
Right. Anyway, biggest mistakes that you've made or you've seen in reefing. So, what mistakes have you made?
We just covered that. We covered that before. In mine, anyway. Biggest mistake I did was placement corals too close together.
I've got one.
And watching my mate, he did exactly which I said when I set his tank up for him, and he basically done exactly what we said you shouldn't do, and that was buy every fish under the sun, and then put them all in together, not even do his research, buy a load of coral. And he didn't go and scrape, the cheaper coral. He bought like the dearer coral, and I was like, try to persuade him. But money burnt through his hands, and that was it. And then, lo and behold, it lasted literally about a month, and it just started, and he shut his tank down. Then
so nutrients crashed, literally. And he got dinos. Basically.
He got dinos. He started getting tons of algae. He started getting, and then it come to me. You see, this is another thing. I mean, I don't mind helping anybody out. I'm always here for anyone, helping them out. Don't get me wrong, yeah. I'm not running a maintenance firm, you know what I mean? And when you do things for mates, you know, like your mates, like your close mates, yeah, you've got to be around at the house. I was seeing him more than I was with my missus and my kids, you know what I mean? Because I was around at his house all the time. So it was like, it was just, it's a balancing act, you know what I mean? And he didn't want to take. He didn't want to take.
What is it? I tell you what, Steve's trying to be serious, and he's
is
absolutely falling apart.
Right,
balancing act.
You know the Right Said Fred song. Somebody's put right fine sand. All she wants is another baster. All that she wants is another baster.
Oh. You shouldn't have said that, bait. You shouldn't have said that. You should have changed
sorry.
it.
So some people in the chat are just making me laugh. Sorry.
Oh, mate. What are you like?
I'm not laughing at your mates, dinos.
Yeah.
Because that's
not
no,
they were, yeah. Oh, it's all right, mate. He's gone. He sold it now.
Was he just in it for a couple of months? What was it? Something like 80 on night? Was it 80 on night? I can't remember. It sounds like I'm making it up. Yeah. Something like 80% of reef tanks don't get past the first year, isn't it? Something.
I would have said that. Yeah. I mean, it's a tough hobby to start with. You know what I mean? This is what people think. Yeah, I've spoke to on my kid's life, and I'll never say that. Yeah, you know what some people have said? Is it like keeping goldfish? This is what people have said to me. Yeah, I went goldfish. What do you mean goldfish? And he went, is it like that? Is it where you just got to change the water and all that all the time? I'm like, whoa, no. Listen, do not get tanked. You need to do your research before you invest in it. You know what I mean? And that's what you've got to do. You've got to do your research. The point, isn't it? You know, because if you don't do research, that's the reason why maybe a lot of tanks fail and people close it down within that year. You know what I mean? Because they don't do the research, they jump into it, and they think, oh, it'll be all right, it'll be all right. And 9 times out of 10, it fails on them, which is a shame because then, you know what? I want to see everybody succeed in it because the more people that are in the hobby, the better it is for everyone. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you don't do your research and you just, you know, and you just go out half-heartedly and stuff like that, and then when it comes to the tough parts, you don't want to dig deeper. You don't want to like find out what the problem is, or you don't want to restart it, and you just shut your tank down. Then what is the point? You know what I mean? I don't understand it. But that's another talking debate, that for sure, because that gets me mad really in one sense. But you know what? It is what it is.
Killing things. That's the point. You end up killing things, and no one wants to do that, do they? In this hobby, no one sets out to kill stuff. That's the thing.
No,
but I think
that's it. That's it. Yeah.
One thing I would say, you can make the hobby as easy as hard.
Yeah.
As you like. So no, it's not as easy as goldfish. But boy, you can make it really difficult for yourself, I think. So you can make things a lot easier, go slow, you know, look at softies, if you know, overloading the tank and you don't go over the top. It's probably easier than people make it for themselves. But it can be challenging.
Listen. Before I've said it time and time again in the stream before. Yeah, I researched for well over a year. Yeah, I think it was about 16, and I've got all the books here. I've got about 17 books still, in my house, which I read. I read them. My missus was like, "You're off your head, you know." Like she was going mad because she didn't think that I would do it. Yeah, she was like, "You're not going to do it. Why are you reading them all?" Yeah, but stuck to my guns, and I knew it. I'm not saying I knew everything, but I knew everything at that time, you know, when I was setting it all up. I knew what the nitrogen cycle was. I knew that I needed that to introduce fish. I knew that like certain fish went with certain fish and stuff like that. So I knew the basics of getting a reef tank up and running, But like we say time and time again, we're learning on this hobby all the time. I'm learning. Paul's probably learning. You know, you're learning, Jay. You've only been in it, you know, over the past 18 months. It's 18 months or so, 2 years. So we all learn all the time, you know, in this hobby, And the more you learn, the more you learn, the more you can pass on to people, and that's what I do. I just help other people out, try the best. People message me all the time. What could I do? You know, blah. And if I can help them, I can help them. But I think the biggest thing you can say is like if you research at the beginning of your journey, the more you read, it's 10 times better because it helps you. You know what I mean? If something happens, you're like, well, I'm sure I read about this, and then you look back and you go, yeah, it is. it might be this or it might be that, and that's how I went through it, because I obviously had my tank before I met you guys, so I did it on my own. Really, I didn't really have anybody. I just read it, watched a bit of YouTube and stuff like that. But other than that, it was reading books. You know what I mean, and not committing. You know, because like I said, it's an expensive hobby, and not only that, it's not fair on the fish. I mean, you buy a dog, yeah. How many people buy dogs, yeah, and take them back to the dog's home? You know what I mean? Because they can't handle them. You know what I mean? Yeah. With fish, but with fish, they can't take them back. Where are they going to take them? You know what I mean? When they're ill and all that, they just die, don't they? And I hate seeing anything die. You know what I mean? In my tank, I'm gutted when if a fish dies in my tank.
You know what I mean? Was when mine did, when my scooter blade died.
Yeah.
That's absolutely good. And you feel the sense of guilt as well. The sense of guilt is horrendous. But like you say, any new coral, any new equipment, any new fish, just research it thoroughly before you do anything, and then you'll avoid a lot of problems. If you're happy to read, watch YouTube, speak to a few people that you can trust, you'll avoid lots of problems. It's just when you get it's got a kid in a sweet shop, just impulse buying, or buying something just because you think other people have got it and not really understanding how it works. Yeah, it's
exactly
that's how you avoid it.
And that's another thing. Sorry, Jay. Yeah, that's sorry for interrupting. That's another thing. Like you said, is like, don't listen to too many people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stick to people. Stick to people who. I mean, I made the mistake at the beginning, because I thought, oh yeah, such a buddy knows his stuff, But did I ever see a picture of it? Did I ever see his tank? No, all he heard was all of his chit chat saying, "Oh, this is what you do, this is what you do." But I never seen his tank. You know what I mean? I'm not going to mention no names. You know what I mean? But and I was like, right, I'll take him up on that. You know, I'll go. And then it was totally wrong. You know what I mean? In what they was telling me, and I was like, what the hell? You know, so now I only listen to like certain people who are, I think, right, you know what, they've got an incredible tank. They know what they're doing. You know, and then I stick to it. I stick to what they tell me. You know what I mean, or what they advise me. That's what if I need help. You know what I mean. But some of them, there's too many people who like give out false information, and you know, just to either get a sale, especially in shops. You know what I mean, which is a shame, really. But it is what it is, I suppose.
So here's a scenario that I came across this week with my tank. So I tested my tank with the HANA alkalinity checker. Awesome bit of kit, yeah. So I tested it on Tuesday, and it was reading 5.2 DKH. So my tank runs at about 8.3 to 8.6 DKH. And then all of a sudden, my HANA test kit was saying 5.2. And I was like, oh my God, my tank's crashing. The alkalinity has dropped by 3 in a space of, a few days, if not a week. So in the chat, what would you do if your HANA checker was reporting that your alkalinity had dropped by 3 DKH in a relatively short period of time? I just want to see what other people put, because I found out what the problem was, and I don't know if some people will pick it up, but you can do you could react to it, or there's something else that you might do. I wonder if
you can call a Cobra meeting.
Yeah. You can call a Cobra meeting. So, David, I did test again with the HANA checker.
Yeah.
I did test again.
You know what a lot of people would have done. You know what a lot of people would have done, yeah? And the first
thing they would have done
is they would have panicked. You know, they would have panicked, yeah. And then you know what a lot of them would have done. They would have gone, oh, you know what? I'll just put an extra 5 mil or another 10 mil in my tank of alkalinity. You know, just to panic because they panic, just to see if they could raise it up. That's what I swear to God. I reckon a lot of people would have done that, because that's what the first thing they do. Oh my God! But you look at your tank and everything's going well. You know what I mean? So you think, well, hold on. Before I do anything, let's just sit back and let's have a think of what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So people watch sorry, mate.
Yeah, I'm just reading some of these, mate. Yeah. What are you saying?
So the people that watch this reefing chat, this live stream, are experienced reefers. So I read 5.2 DKH, and I was like, I feel like swearing, but you know what I mean? what's going on with the tank? Is it crashing? You worry about your corals. So I tested again with the Hannah, and it came up again at about, I think it was about 5 or something like that. And I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? Should I do a water change? Should I put some more alkalinity in just to slowly boost it back up again? But most people in the chat have got it right. My Hannah alkalinity fluid, even though it was 6 months still in date, when I bought the other one, so I ordered a new one, and it came with Amazon 24 hours later. I did it with the new fluid, and it measured 8.3. So I didn't react to it. Yeah, got the new fluid in, and the new fluid reported 8.3. I did it again. It was 8.4 with the new fluid. Even though the old Hannah alkalinity fluid had 6 months to run on the expiry, it had gone. Yeah. And I could have done a massive water change. I could have put alkaline. You know, that instant reaction, that panic. You can hit a lot of problems. Test again.
Well, Ailey said it there. Never panic. Raising it fast causes nothing but trouble, and it's true, mate. But you know what though? It shouldn't go off that quick. There's no way it should go off that fast.
It went off, mate. It went off.
That's an issue. That's a major problem. That
Ross was talking about that last week, wasn't
he? Yeah.
So if you get the wrong test result, test again, or wait for a new reagent to come, then test before you do before you make a change. And I'm so glad I held off making that change, because I thought I should go and do a big water change, or I should start boosting the alk, and I didn't. I just kind of waited for the new reagent to come up the next day. But yeah,
So hold on a minute. So if that's the case, how long realistically, is that supposed? So when you open it, well, you get 20. What do you get in it? 25 tests in one of them. You get 25 tests in one of them.
Yeah, 25 tests. I've had that one about, I don't know, a year, 8 months, something like that. It had 6 months. It ran out. It expired in November this year, so it's well within date. So I was like, it's got to be right. Yeah. But I thought, you know what? Yeah. I'm just going to get a new reagent, 24-hour delivery, and I'm going to test with a new reagent. And with the new reagent, it was absolutely fine. And I was just like, I'm so glad I didn't react to it and start changing stuff.
I'm just looking here now, and Stu's Reef's put Anna says it should be okay for 6 months once opened. So once it's been opened, it should be okay for 6 months.
It was open for 6 months. It probably was.
So you opened it for 6 months. Well, you're not testing it. 25 tests you've not used in 6 months.
No.
How often do you test?
Do you do any testing?
Says you. Who has a machine to test his alkalinity?
Exactly. Yeah, but I'm still testing.
Right. Maybe this says more about me. I don't know.
Hey, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me about testing, mate. Yeah.
Don't judge me, Steve.
I made a major screw up. I bought some of the KH Keeper reagent, not last Sunday, the Sunday before, So I mixed it all up. I put the 10-litre thing. So what happened was, this is at the back of a tank. I have the waste bucket, and I also have the reagent bucket. But in between them two is my RO bucket, which is a 25-litre. Now the other day there was a bit of leaking coming out. The leak detection kit sensed it and started going off on the apex. So I was like, what in the hell is that? I thought, please tell me there's no leak. So I looked. Well, lo and behold, the actual waste bucket, I forgot to empty the waste bucket. So the waste bucket had overflowed. It had gone on the floor and it had gone underneath the cabinet. So obviously the leak detection kit done its thing and it sounded and it let me know that obviously that there was a leak, that there was a water. So what I did was, because that's more at the back of the tank, I moved it. So I moved the waste reagent to this side, and then to the back, and then I put my reagent closer to me. So I came in. I was knackered. I'd done a 12-hour shift at work. Came in the other day, and I was like half asleep. I was knackered, and I was like, I thought, and I could hear some like swirling. So I was like, oh, what's that? So my water reagent had ran out my RO. So I moved the cabinet away to look. Well, what did I see? I seen which I thought was the waste bucket, and it was full. So I'm like, oh, the waste bucket's full again. And I, without thinking, I just took the cable out and I emptied it. Well, guess what? Did I empty away? I emptied all the reagent that just filled in, mate. Yeah, because I've forgotten that I swapped to over, didn't I? You know what I mean? So I tipped 10 litres of wastewater, 10 litres of the reagent down the sink. So now my KH keeper's offline till tomorrow till I go and buy some more. I've switched it off.
You're
so
testing,
I've got to recalibrate
it. With your Hannah now.
So I'm testing with a Hannah checker, and it seems to be okay actually.
Such hard work as well, Steve. Such hard work into that.
59 quid, mate. 49 quid wasted, tipped down the drain, literally down the drain. I could not believe it.
Does it have a smell or anything when you're pouring it? No,
there's no smell. No whatsoever, mate.
Yeah.
No. Absolutely gutted it was.
We've had a right week, haven't we, here? With my
mate, I tell you. Yeah, it's an absolute nightmare. So what I've done is I've actually put on it. Well, I'm not gonna say what the words that I've actually put on the actual bucket, yeah. But it's profanities on it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So basically, if I do ever time to empty it, then I know I actually look at it. And AB Reeves put it, label your buckets. That's what I've done, mate. I've labelled it with some swear words.
In hindsight, you should have done his research and labelled them at the start. They'd have been all right.
I should have, mate. Yeah. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it?
I don't label my bucket. Is that a thing, labelling your buckets? I don't. I know which one's a dirty bucket. I know which one's a clean bucket by looking at them. But that's how I just by the appearance. But that sounds
poetry,
like
which the free fishketeers, Paul J and Steve have entertained us. We've all had a giggle. It's time for the spin. Let's see who will win. Hey, to
be fair, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good. That's. Hey,
I'm just double checking.
It's a bit of poetry, yeah.
A bit of poetry there. A bit of poetry. Yeah. Reefing.
Never lets us down.
Reefing, that's right.
There's a load of comments here that we've not looked at, so I hope. Sorry if you feel we're being rude, but.
Right, let's go.
Aquarians put ABC reagents.
Kicking the dog.
Talk about reagents.
Someone's saying there's animal cruelty on. Someone's saying there's animal cruelty on here.
Oh, the dog's in the background barking. She's in the kitchen. I'm kicking her under the table. Don't you know I'm trying to do the Wheel of Fortune?
They're yelping, I think.
Yeah.
I've had exactly the same. Yeah. I would just use 2 separate test kits, but I didn't have another alkalinity one, so perhaps that would have been a better one. But yeah, I definitely use 2. If you get an incorrect test result, multiple test kits. Good idea. Or ICP, but that takes a long time, doesn't it, at the moment?
Yeah.
It takes weeks. That.
Well, it depends what one you use. What one did you use?
Tritons.
Did you do that when they had problems with the machine in the UK? So they were sending it.
Yeah, where is it? It's Sunderland, the one that's broke, something.
I don't know if it still is, but
I don't know.
Yeah, I've always had. It's always been all right. I always sent it on the Monday, got there on the Wednesday, and got the results Wednesday, Thursday. The last one I did, it took a while because the machine was broken.
Did the Salifert reagents go off as well after 6 months? Because I've been using them.
No, the others, all the ones that I've known have had an expiry date on them. And it had an expiring date, and some of the expiry dates are like a year, 18 months, 2 years. On them, Salifert they've had quite a long expiry date. Red Sea, which is the main ones I use, they've got at least 18 months to 2 years, I think. And then you've got the other one is Elos I use for phosphate, and that one lasts. But because I've got 3 tanks, I'd go for them fairly quickly. Not that I test everything every week, to be fair.
Triton's back down to 3 days apparently now. That's good.
That is good.
It was weeks when I did it last time. Good. A lot of them were going to Germany though, I think.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Are you fully basted?
Right. So we are fully basted.
You missed you missed what I called you earlier on this chat, Steve. Very early on.
Do I need to ask you? It was about based.
It was about based.
We were friends, Jay.
We are good friends, mate. Good friends.
Right, the competition is now closed. There's no more basting, so it's all done.
No more base.
No more basting.
So any entries after that will be ignored.
Right, good luck to everybody anyway. I mean, this wheel's never let us down yet.
Yeah, thank you for that.
And if you don't live within 5 miles of Paul's house, you can't even win. So
it would be really good if the person wins leads in Essex, because
you have to buy a house. You have to buy a house before you win the competition.
Yeah,
Right. Okay. So I am now going to do full screen. Now I've got to see if you can. No, I can't see it in a moment.
Oh yeah.
You all laugh. You all laugh when it's me.
Now I've got to tap it in the right place. Right. Okay. Let's.
Funny when it's you, Steve.
Yeah. I know.
It's spinning.
We can't see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is it? Blue. It's blue for
NB.
Yes.
Whoa.
Well done.
There we go. And it's live. So you will win an avatar chalice, a mummy eye, which is blue with a pink eyes. You can see both of those on the Instagram account. And also, I will also send a couple of blue recordiers that got pink centers to them as well.
Nice.
So if you want to just message me on Instagram, and then we can sort out the details, and then I'll send them out next week.
Yeah. Awesome.
I've got all the stuff.
That's very kind
nice
of
prize.
you, Paul. Very
prize.
kind of you, Paul.
Yeah,
thank you for putting that prize together.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
And for taking part in our basting. I was going to say basting session, but I mean that's a bit rude, so I won't say that.
Yeah.
And I'm anti-baster. Okay, no basting in my tank.
I just don't know how you do it. I really don't know how you do it.
But there you go. Right, so we was on about the last 5 or 6 minutes mistake. So there's a couple of things that I've done over the years. So my first tank, I never had an auto top off, and that was a big mistake. Doing it manually was a real pain in the what's here. And although I kept things alive, I think I could have done a lot better. Coral warfare, we covered that off earlier on, didn't we? I also, if I got a problem, I left it too long. So I got flatworm, but it wasn't the ones that ate coral. It was the red ones, which I can't remember the name of it. And they just spread like wildfire. And I ended up taking ages to do it. I ended up putting loads of rats in and damages and other things to sort it out. So, what's that about?
Someone's been very rude.
I never looked at a base the same way.
Someone's put... Yeah! Who won the turkey base? His wife.
No, she's a vegetarian. Right, should we move on?
I can't cope with this.
Someone's taken this chat very, very downhill very quickly.
Oh, there we go.
Power cut on the reef tank.
Can you hear me?
Have you got a couple of pence for the meter? I need to put the lights back on. Oh dear. I best leave them off now. It's getting late.
Yeah, Rich might. Yeah, what did you do Friday when basting with 68 people? Oh mate. Oh god. My eyes are watering here.
You got to be careful. You say that to some people, like, "Oh, where was that?"
They say, "Well, come back next week. Come back next week if you want some more basting. We're on Steve's channel."
Only 60. Where was that again? YouTube.
Oh mate.
Right. Shall I carry on with mistakes other than bringing a baster with me?
I think with all this laughter, we should live forever, don't we? You're supposed to live longer when you laugh.
Yeah, if you get a problem, sort it out. And I think that's about it. I've had enough. I've had enough of problems. Did you talk about your problems? You did, didn't you?
I've got just my reef tank ones. Yeah, I've done them.
He's got enough of him.
Right,
I'll save the others.
Has anyone got any questions for the last 5 minutes? Because I've run out of material.
Yeah.
Oh, I've enjoyed myself.
Oh, mate.
I've run out of tea as well now.
You know.
That's the worst thing.
Oh, mate.
Right.
Yeah.
So Jay, when's the upgrade?
When's the upgrade? This end of this year.
Oh.
End of this year. Because I need to end of this year. November, December.
Is that definite? Is that a definite?
Yeah. November, December is the plan. I'm saving up. Saving up. So, I say that Radian upgrade of the LEDs, that's going to set me back another, 150, 200 quid surely. Because that was 350, so the upgrade must be, I don't know, 200 maybe.
Half of it, yeah.
It's got to be at least half, isn't it?
So.
Well,
so do you know what you're going to go for? Or is that a secret?
What tank?
Or you're not sure at the moment?
I don't know. I don't think it exists.
So it'd be custom then?
Possibly. I want a shallow reef though. Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah,
got to think about shallow reefs with no corals on the sandbed.
Quick question here, Andrew Patterson. If he's just saying what's the best to keep a gonnies?
There you go, Joe.
Me personally, I couldn't keep gonnies. Couldn't keep gonnies for the love of money. I no matter what. And then I took. I was in the Cracker Corals and I spoke to a guy. And he was saying to me, dose iodine.
Yeah,
iodine.
Yeah, definitely.
And dose that iodine. Yeah, just one or two drops every other day or so. Yeah. And watch him. And I was like, right, yeah, that's the one. And I did. And ever since that time, yeah, my gonnies now, they're just growing like crazy. They're absolutely thriving. Yeah. And I do dose, like I said, I do dose the iodine.
What I would say with iodine, if you overdose it can cause problems. So
absolutely.
If you
dose it sparingly,
be really careful. So I've started dosing it in the floating aquascape, but that's 170 liters, and I put 1 milliliter in probably once, maybe twice a week, and that's it. I don't think it's at its optimal level. Yeah. But if you overdose, I think it was Parker's Reef, wasn't it? He lost a hell of a lot of problems because he overdosed on iodine. So if you're going to use it, really good idea, but be careful. So depends on, I suppose, a couple of things. How big is your tank? And also that Red Sea one, you can use that if you use the Red Sea calcium. Yeah. And you do the iodine based on your consumption of calcium. So if you look on there, it does say for every, I think it's 1 to 7. So for every 7 milliliters of calcium, you use 1 milliliter of that, I think. Yeah. But don't quote me on that. I think that's what I used to use it in the tank over there. But Red Sea have got it sussed out, and as much as they're based on the colours, the A, B, C, D, which is those colours, you base that based on your calcium. So that way you can prevent having an issue, because that's a pretty good way of doing it.
And lower light spectrum, so near the bottom of your tank. Yeah. And not too much flow, because you won't get the extension if there's too much flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, true that. Yeah.
Just got a couple more minutes, a couple more comments here. None of us have upgraded to this. Reef Dork, who he's been on this channel, been on us with live last year. He's done a big review of it. I think he's got one set up.
Chris Allen's done it.
And
Chris Allen's upgrade.
Oh, okay.
Chris Allen.
Got any comments in it? Let's go down.
He has.
There we go. Brilliant piece of work. Okay.
Only heard good things about it, to be honest. Only heard good things.
I've heard a lot of good things about it, and the great thing about it, which I thought was a gimmick at first, but was the app. And I think more and more I think about it now is the better, because you know what, like I'd forgotten to change mine. All of a sudden, I heard gushing, and then I've forgotten that I've changed the filter roller. Now, if you know the filter roller had run out, and I'm like, oh my god! So I had to take it all out and then refred it. Whereas if I had an app, it would tell me when it, it's it's ease of use. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier for sure. But There
you go. There's iodine, 1 drop per 100. It depends what you get, because you can get something that's in a bottle that's got a droplet in it, so it will be per drop.
Yeah.
Whereas the Red Sea one, you dose it per milliliter because you have to use a syringe. So some will have a droplet on it.
Yeah.
And some will be in a bottle. So it really depends on what brand you get. But each one should give you instructions on what the suggestion is. So whatever one you use, UK Reef Pro, obviously it says 1 drop per 100 milliliters.
Yeah,
but I would say start off low and increase from there.
I won't have a reef tank without dosing it. I do think it does make quite a significant difference.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. And Chris Allen, water clear as gin app is great too. So I think
brilliant.
Yeah.
Can't say fairer than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Let's just see if there's any more.
There's loads of comments still.
Yeah. So something. So Chris, did you modify the sump? Because isn't there a kit you get, or something? You can buy a kit that helps you cut away the sump or anything like that. I must admit, I haven't looked into it much because I've got a Clarity and I'm happy with that, so I don't need to replace it. So let's just go through the comments. What else have we got here? So we're on Steve's channel next week.
Yeah.
And then the Jubilee is the week after that. And so we're on next week with Steve. And then we're off the Friday after because I think some of us are away. And obviously it's a 4-day weekend, really, isn't it? You've got the Thursday and Friday being the bank holiday.
Jubilee,
absolutely. Long live the Queen.
Diamond.
Yeah. And Julie has called time, and I'm now after. So sorry, Julie. Out of practice, have you been here to tell us?
Thanks, Julie.
Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Can you give us a thumbs up? Can you give us a thumbs up for Paul's channel as well? Appreciate it.
Thumbs up, then that would be greatly appreciated. It helps.
Thank you.
On that, we will see you next week. Have a lovely weekend, and thanks for watching, guys. Happy basting.
Oh, no.